Welcome to How I Solved It, where we deep dive into a specific business challenge and see how one awesome admin chose to solve it. I'm Jennifer Lee, lead admin evangelist, and in this episode, I'm showing you how to use Agentforce to analyze images and PDFs simultaneously to solve complex cases in seconds. So we're looking at Pronto, a fictional online delivery service, and their high-value B2B catering is high stakes. So when a $2,000 order goes wrong, clients get angry. The challenge? The refund rules are buried in unique multi-page contracts for each vendor. So for a human agent, manually finding the right PDF and then reading through all that legal text takes 20 to 30 minutes or even more, and it's slow and error-prone. So let's look at a live case from Sarah Jenkins. And when we look at the case, we see the subject is urgent, critical issue with catering order for Apex Solutions. Now, Sarah goes on to tell us that she ordered a premium seafood platter from Urban Eats Collective for a high important lunch meeting that she had, but instead she received this, a sad shrimp platter, clearly not premium. Now we also have a partner SLA, and this is a multi-page PDF contract for Urban Eats Collective. Now our human agent, David, needs to compare that image against the PDF rules to find the remedy. But instead of David doing it, let's ask our catering employee agent to do so for him. So we're going to ask it to determine the resolution for the catering issue. And we're going to see what happens next. So in less than 10 seconds, what the agent was able to do was it reviewed the image that was provided and it determined that it's a small serving of shrimp on lettuce. And then it proceeded to compare it and review it against the multiple page contract SLA, reviewing the rules, summarizing the overall findings for the agent, again, bringing the human in the loop aspect to it. And it also determined the authorized remedy, which is to issue a 100% refund, as well as apply a $500 credit to their account. Additionally, it even created an email to send to the client. So this agent found the violation, calculated the refund, and wrote the email. The agent didn't use any complex code to do this. I built two simple behind-the-scenes flows and a prompt template action to make this magic happen. Now let's see how I solved it. So let's take a look at my agent, the catering employee agent. And inside of its catering issue management topic, I have clear instructions on what it needs to do when it sees an image in a document. So here it says, ask for the case number if you don't have the case ID. Use the case number to get the case ID and restaurant name. Then formulate the title of the content document by taking the restaurant name and appending to it _partner_SLA and add underscores in between each word in the restaurant name, and I give an example of how to do so. Then if the user needs help analyzing the documentation, you first need to get the case ID and the content document ID for the SLA. Now, if you don't have the content document ID, you're going to need to use a specific action to get it. And then lastly, once you have the case ID and content document ID, then you could determine the resolution. Now for my supporting actions, I have two flow actions and a prompt action. So let's take a look at that first flow. The job of this first flow is to get the case and restaurant contacts. And to do so, the agent will pass over the case number as a input variable into this flow. And from there, we're going to simply use a get records using the case number provided to get the case ID and the restaurant ID, in this case, Urban Eats Collective. And in our next step, we're going to use the restaurant ID to get the restaurant name. And that's going to be a variable that's available for our agent. And this gives the AI the who and the what. Now, the job of our second flow is to get the grounding data, which is the partner SLA. Now, this is crucial. The AI agent will first pass over the title of the SLA using the account name from the first flow and the instructions to get to that title. From there, it is going to do a query on the content document object using that title to find the ID of the SLA PDF. And once it has that content document ID, it's going to store it in a text variable that will be available for our agent to use. And this means the system automatically retrieves that exact SLA document needed for that specific vendor. And notice how relatively simple these two flow actions were with specific jobs to be done. Now, finally, it all comes together here in the prompt template. And we are feeding the AI two things at once: the case ID from the first flow and the SLA document ID or the content document ID from the second flow. And here's the multimodal part. It pulls the SLA document ID as the grounding data, and it uses the case ID to automatically find the case description, client, and pull in the attached images. So when we look in the prompt, we're instructing the LLM to review the case description, find out what's going on with that case. And then it's going to analyze the documents, the attached images associated with the case. From there, it's going to review it against the SLA PDF and then determine the exact remedy from the SLA, and lastly, draft an email to the client with the remedy. And all of this was done in natural language. So let's run this right here in Prompt Builder. We're going to select our case, as well as the restaurant SLA for Urban Eats Collective. And here we see that the customer is Sarah Jenkins from Apex Solutions. She ordered the premium seafood platter, and then she attached an image that was a small dish containing a field shrimp on shredded lettuce. She then reviews the PDF to find out information about the premium seafood platter and compares it to the image that she attached to the case. She then summarized her findings, as well as provide an authorized action, which is 100% refund, as well as that $500 credit. And then lastly, she closes it out with a draft email to the client, including the remedy. And with that, we turned a 30 or more minute manual review into a 10-second automated solution by combining Flow to fetch the right data with a multimodal prompt to analyze images and text. We empowered the AI agent to be accurate and fast, and we turned that sad shrimp photo into a saved high-value account. That's the power of a grounded multimodal employee agent. And that's how I solved it. Thanks for watching.